R3 conference registration 2026 is officially live. We've completed our summit this spring. We're moving on, looking forward to our conference in the fall. Tell me about where we're at right now with the conference.
Yes. So as you said, registration is open. We are returning to Camp Barnabas September 11th and 12th. And this year is going to be totally new and different in that it's an optional 2-day conference, which we've never done that before. It's going to be a huge undertaking. We're renting out the entire Camp Barnabas site. And so anyone that registers to come the night before can stay on site. It doesn't cost anybody anything. This is a free event for our caregivers, our team, clients, and something else new that we're doing is natural children of our caregivers ages 7 and up can now attend. And Camp Barnabas has specific volunteers. It's going to be spending the day with them. But it's going to be an incredible 2-day opportunity to just build relationships, network, have fun, relax, and refill our why and what we do and the community of people that we're with. So registration goes through the end of the month. So better register now if you're listening to this, or it might be too late.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm Staci Owen with The Hopeful Connection. Whitley Lemon is joining me today to talk about the upcoming R3 conference.
Yeah.
So welcome.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
I'm excited to talk about the conference. I know we talk about it internally all the time and have the ins and outs of what's going on. This is just an opportunity to share all about the conference with our caregivers and team members.
Absolutely.
So when we talk about R3, let's break that down. Where did the R3 really come from?
Right. So R3 stands for Reach, Restore, Repeat. So the whole heartbeat behind Restoring Hope is that we're able to reach people that need a family, need a belonging, and just need a home and a family that supports them and loves them. And we also do that by reaching and connecting with caregivers who make that possible. And then Restore is the daily work that our caregivers do, day in and day out, restoring hope and dignity and purpose back into our individuals' lives. And then the Repeat is the process of just doing this cycle over and over again and just restoring hope one relationship at a time. So that's where that theme came from, and it really works good for our conference.
Absolutely. So, thank you for that explanation.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're in 2026. 2022 is when the conference really came to life.
Yes.
So what have you seen evolve over the past 4 years of conferences?
Oh, goodness. So we have this will be our 3rd conference. We took 1 year off to kind of get through certification. And because there's a lot of moving parts that goes into that. People's schedules get really busy. So our first conference that we had was at Wonderland Camp at the lake. And they are very similar to where we're going now. It's a camp for individuals with developmental disabilities. And they also had like a conference set up. But that first theme that we had in 2022 was more than a door, which I know we've talked about this a little bit, is our logo. I don't know if very many people know this, but if you've listened to some of our podcasts in the past, we've kind of hit on that. It looks like a door. And, being a Restoring Hope host home provider, it's more than just a wood and hinges that opens up to. And we really wanted to carry that theme and that message through with our caregivers. Like, you're providing more than a bed for these individuals. Like, you are transforming their life. You're bringing back hope and purpose and belonging into their lives. And so, we just want to pour back into our caregivers. And this is the conference. I'm so honored that I get to help lead it and be part of it and organize it. But, just the owners, yourself, you see the value in pouring back into our caregivers because they pour so much out. And that's really the goal and the heart behind these conferences. And it's not just for our caregivers. Our clients get to benefit where we host it at. They can have a fun day at the facilities, with Camp Barnabas being where our venue's at this year. It's the same thing. The community, it's inclusive, it's set up. The staff, the volunteers are all trained to work with individuals that we support. But it's also an opportunity for our team members to connect, and then just everyone to network, because everyone's coming from all over the state of Missouri. And so it's our one event where we can just build tighter, deeper connections and really unite everyone in the same setting at the same time. So, yeah.
Okay, so let's break a little bit of that down.
Yeah.
With the conference, you, like you've said, you're a huge piece of the planning, the implementing, and that conference coming to life. So from your seat, what do you feel like is the most impactful piece of the conference?
I really feel like, something we've tried to improve on is the quality of speakers that we've brought in. So that's something that, I've heard feedback on that's really vital. So that's something that we continue to tweak and try and improve, bring better speakers every single year. But really the heart behind it is just the connections, especially for new host homes, or relief homes, this is the perfect opportunity to meet with people in your region, to build relationships. And then, you could end up doing relief for someone, or you can meet a client that you may end up, that may end up being placed with you. And otherwise you wouldn't probably have as many opportunities to do that unless you're going to like Christmas parties and pool parties and different things like that. But this is just an excellent opportunity to just, build those connections. And then we like to have a lot of fun. We have giveaways. We have a lot of fun. We have drinks and swag and merch. And it's just a great opportunity to come away feeling connected and rediscovering, reignite why you're doing what you're doing, because you're in the same mindset and heart space with all of these other people doing the same work that you're doing. They understand your struggles. They understand the joys that come with the struggles and just the celebrations. They can all relate. And so being in the same room with those people, it's just an incredible opportunity, and one I hope that people don't miss out on. Yeah. So.
Yep. Okay. So I know earlier you referenced when it was. So it's September 11th and 12th.
Yes.
At Camp Barnabas, which is in Purdy, Missouri.
Yep.
So let's talk about the 2-day, because I know that is going to be a new experience this year.
Yes. Yeah. So Friday, which is September 11th, guests can start arriving at 5. We're going to get them set up in their cabins if they're staying the night with us, which most likely they are if they're coming the night before. We're going to have dinner provided. We're going to have karaoke and swimming. And then also we're going to have a little local ice cream truck come and serve our guests the night before too. And it's just going to be a fun, chill, laid back, enjoyable evening to just connect and just kind of decompress before a day of learning and fun. So then Saturday, September 12th, we'll start fairly early in the morning. We'll have Josh Farner as our speaker. He's returning as a speaker. He spoke at our summit, not this year, but the last year in Columbia, and he did exceptional. So I'm really excited to get to have him back. We got to have him on the podcast as well and hear his heart behind what he does. And I think it's just going to be incredible. He's going to present on 2 different topics. We're going to break with a lunch in there, but we're going to have all kinds of resources. Works is going to be back with coffees and refreshers, and it's so fun seeing them make all of that. And they're going to have merch. Inclusivity is going to be providing merchandise for purchase the day of as well. And we're going to have mobile chair massages is the plan. So you can sign up and get a little neck and back massage. But we're just going to have a lot of fun networking opportunities, engagement, inspiration, encouragement, and tips that people can take home with them and just refill, and just be ready to take on whatever challenges comes their way in the future. So, yeah.
So one thing I really appreciate about yourself, Mackenzie Howard, the whole conference committee is that you guys really take that feedback from our caregivers and team members to make each next conference even better. So tell me a little bit about how the Friday night piece, how it really came about.
Well, a lot of the feedback we've heard is we want this to be a 2-day event. You know, we heard that a lot, in the post event surveys that we asked people to fill out before they leave for the day. And so that was a lot of feedback we heard. They wanted the opportunity to get to do more things with their individuals, and having it a 1 day really kind of makes that difficult because you only have so many hours in a day. And there's a lot of logistics that goes into checking clients in and, you know, having speakers and just networking opportunities and lunch and all the things. And so being able to open it up to a 2-day really just gives us more opportunity to do that with people, that are attending the conference. But, I also, there was a moment that had happened, Brandy Fajan, I believe this was during the first conference, she had walked up to Mackenzie and I, and she had shared that she thought it would be a really cool idea to have photo albums as something that we give to caregivers for individuals, because as you know, so many of them come with nothing, or like they have a trash bag and they don't have photos. They don't have memories that they can take with them if they get transitioned to a new home. And so we love that idea. And it was something that we implemented during the next conference. And so we ordered a whole bunch of photo albums and gave those to the host homes for each of their clients. And I haven't heard feedback on that, but I sure hope that they've built those photo albums, vacations, and help them build that up with their memories that they can take with them wherever they go in the future. And they'll always have that for themselves. So the feedback, I love getting the feedback. And even if it's slightly negative, like, I want to hear all of that. I'm sure you want to hear that. Definitely want to hear all of that, because we want to make this worth coming to. It's not something that we take lightly. It's something that we take very seriously, and we want it to be worth every second of their time that we know is so valuable. And I know a lot of people feel like they probably don't have the time, but it's definitely worth your time coming. And it's an opportunity for individuals to have a day at camp that would be, you know, otherwise very expensive. And so it's 1 day, or now technically a day and a half or so, of them getting to have some fun somewhere they wouldn't otherwise get to have. So, yeah.
Okay. You touched on Josh Farner. He's going to be the speaker for the conference. Yep. 2 parts. Tell me just a little bit about what Josh has in store for us. So, he's kind of working on writing another book. So I don't know if he's going to pull from that, but we'll be excited to see that. Hopefully he'll have it published for purchase. But he has some that's more on, like behaviors and how do you identify what's going on and getting to their level. And then he has another one that's kind of on, mental health. So it's, the behavioral side, but also the caregiving side. Like, how are we taking care of ourselves? And I don't want to give too much away on what that's going to look like, but it's going to, I think, hit both pieces, the caregiving in the aspect of pouring into others, but then also refueling yourself and identifying things that you could change in your life to make you more mentally healthy for the days ahead. So, and I know personally, one thing that I really appreciate about Josh is he comes from a trauma-informed background. And for our individuals, they've all experienced some level of trauma. And so Josh does a really good job of discussing that trauma and how to break it down to be able to support them in a home setting like they're in with us.
Absolutely. I mean, he's got really great case study, real life examples where, it was basically a hopeless situation to what he did or what he encouraged and coached others to do for that breakthrough moment that happened with the individuals, the transformative, life-changing things that happened. And it's really simple stuff that we all can do. Like, it doesn't take a degree. You just listen and take in some of these smaller things and apply them, and you will see drastic results. And, sometimes it takes a lot of time. So it takes diligence. And so that's part of this. Our theme for the conference is rooted in resilience. And so, we have to be rooted into our why to continue being successful and helping our clients have breakthroughs in their lives as well as for ourselves. So that's really kind of my hope for this is with his messages. Our goal is that we help people tap into that why, get a hold of it or reignite that, and then just build them up that they have the belief in knowing that they can continue. They've got what it takes, even in the hard situations. So.
Absolutely. Yeah. Let's talk about the client piece. So if I haven't been to the conference, what does it look like for our individuals? What does their day look like at Camp Barnabas?
Yeah. So they'll get checked in and dropped off. And from there, they'll have all sorts of activities. There could be some individuals that don't like to swim, or they can't handle loud crowds. So there's a lot of different options. There's sensory rooms, there's quiet rooms, there's technology rooms, there's more activity rooms for the really rambunctious ones. There's safe places for them to go, but otherwise there's rock climbing walls, there's putt-putt golf, there's pickleball, basketball, swimming, ropes courses. Like, there is a load of activities that our individuals are going to get to enjoy. And it's really just based on their preferences, what they're comfortable with. And we have kind of questions built into registration that kind of will help us filter that out. So when we get that information at Camp Barnabas, they'll know how to plan that individual's day out based on their needs, their preferences, their likes, their interests, and, safety reasons too, to protect them. So yeah, it's just going to be a load of fun.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Okay. So the last piece, so we talked about the caregiver piece, we talked about the client piece. New this year is our natural family kids.
Yes.
Let's talk about that a little bit. Yeah. What is that going to look like?
Yeah. So this obviously is a brand new thing. Parents of those natural children will drop them off the same. There'll probably be a different line to drop them off at check-in, but they'll get to enjoy all the same stuff. There's a pond for fishing. There's, like I said, rock climbing walls, all kinds of athletic things, outdoor stuff, swimming. And so they're probably going to have like a different schedule and rotate a little bit differently, but they'll get to enjoy all that same stuff and stay the night before. Like, we've got cabins so families can all stay together, if that makes sense for them. And, we'll figure all those logistics out ahead of time. But yeah, it's just an all-inclusive, all family, event that just really includes everybody. And because the kids are in the home too. They're living it just the same as the caregivers are. So I'm just so grateful that Camp Barnabas was able to cater to that, to provide the volunteers. So, and hopefully this opens it up so more host homes can come because they may not have childcare. So anyway, that's the hope, that we can just get more people to be able to come, opening that option up for them.
Yeah. I know. I'm very excited about adding the natural family kids because, like you said, they are a huge piece of restoring hope. They're a huge part of the home experience. Yeah. And so being able to include them in the fun, I think is very exciting. Yeah.
And too, it's kind of a plug-in for Camp Barnabas to maybe get future volunteers too, as well. If these natural children are seeing the impact of this, it may provide them an opportunity to give them a volunteer experience in the future too. And maybe into this field, they're very saturated in this environment of what we do for individuals. So I think it's just, there's a lot of positive things that could come from opening it up to natural children being able to come to the conference. So
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay. Registration's open until June 30th.
Yep.
If I'm on the fence and I'm a caregiver, team member, what do you have to convince me that I should do it?
Well, I just feel like by coming, it just opens your eyes and your heart to really seeing the value and the impact in what you do when you're with other people and you hear their stories and you have your own stories, or, you know, maybe you're brand new and you don't really have any stories yet. You can become so inspired and fueled by hearing other people's stories and the positive impact that it makes. So really, I think it ignites your purpose. If you're already a caregiver, if you're already host home, like, why would you not want to come and tap into that resource, you know? And it's, you know, other than your fuel, like, you don't have to pay anything to come. Like, we're just pouring back into you. This is a wonderful opportunity to be around incredible people that are like you and want to help and love other people. So,
okay, you've convinced me. What do I do? What do I do to sign up?
Good. So anyone that wants to, you can go to our website, werestorehope.com/R3. You can also follow our Facebook page. I've posted several different things on there with the links to register, but you will have to register caregivers, clients, and natural children all separately. So for each person, there's different registration links. Our team members as well on that webpage can register there too. But yeah, very simple. And if you have any questions about that whatsoever, feel free to email me. We'll include the link below on that. If you have any questions, I have had some about, for instance, with individuals that maybe don't want to swim and stuff. I've answered some of those questions already. So feel free to answer any questions that you may have about it. I'm glad to answer that. And yeah, get registered before June 30th because it's coming soon. So
it's great. Thank you. Thanks for sitting down with me.
Yeah.
And just talking about the conference in more detail.
Yep. My pleasure.
And we'll all look forward to September 11th and 12th at Camp Barnabas.
It's going to be awesome. Can't wait. Thank you.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks.